After an off day, the Sox are back home to celebrate the King against the Royals. Fittingly enough, it is Elvis night at Guaranteed Rate Field. Game 1 of 3 against Kansas City. Thanks for joining us once again. Jason Benetti, Steve Stone along with you. This is part of 2 consecutive weeks or so straight against the American League Central, and the Sox are going to try and do the Royals in tonight.
You're going to get into the playoffs, you have to beat the division. And though this year it's not a problem, the Sox are getting a little better at beating their division. Now, some of the teams are giving them some problems. Cleveland gives everybody problems, as you can see, just 3-10 this year. Detroit has been a problem. 3-9 this year, but Kansas City, things are getting a little better, and Minnesota, things are getting considerably better. So as the Sox get to compete against their own division, now they're going to see exactly where these teams are going to be heading into next year. And as we know, it's rebuilding for the division, all except for Cleveland, and the Sox are doing a little bit better job of it.
Pitching matchup in this game, number 1, James Shields, the former Royal, against Jacob Junis for Kansas City.
Junis has very good control, and last time out, both of these guys threw the ball pretty well. This year has not been a good year for either pitcher. Junis has got to move the ball around, and now he's gone to a 4-seam fastball, so the control's been a bit better for him. James Shields on the other side of the equation is 4-14 this year, but as far as quality starts, he's among the best in baseball at going deep into the game. And although he hasn't gotten a whole lot of support this year, the bullpen hasn't been great for him, James, by and large, is doing the job. And hopefully tonight more of the same against a team that he always has done well against. Last couple of starts, he's thrown it well, but 0-1 to show for it. That's James Shields. Jacob Junis, last 3 starts, 2-0, his ERA about 3.25. So he's gotten a bit better as his command has gotten better, and we'll see how he fares tonight.
Sox and Royals, game number 1. Thanks for joining us this evening for American League Central Baseball. There are Kings everywhere. Elvis all over the ballpark, still in the building. Carlos Rodon is our subject when we come back.
Come on and do the jailhouse rock with me, let it rock. Everybody let it rock. Everybody knows that rock. Put that into the
Northwest Indiana Hyundai dealers. Test drive a Hyundai today. Xfinity has the largest gig speed network, serving more homes than anyone else. Ford, inviting you to visit your local Ford store or buyfordnow.com. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois. Choose Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois, the card to carry through it all. Wintrust, home of Sox checking and debit cards. Open an account today at wintrust.com/Sox. And by your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Audi dealers. Visit AudiOffers.com for exceptional offers on select Audi models.
Aaron Water Show weekend here in Chicago. Our cameraman Bob Albrecht got a ride along, and these are the pictures that he saw. Up in the sky here in Chicago as the Sox got back after a road trip in Detroit. And Carlos Rodon in the last game on Wednesday went a career high tying 8 innings. He was tremendous against the Tigers, gave up 3 earned runs all in the same inning. And Ricky Renteria says Carlos is really turning into a special pitcher.
It's beyond confidence now. I think there's a huge sense of maturity that's coming along with it. You're right, he's always been confident, but I think he's, able to kind of keep his emotions in check a little bit better, which allows him to not allow a particular call on any particular pitch on any given day to affect him too much, so he can continue to do what he needs to do. He's got really good stuff, and he's continuing to hammer the strike zone. He's executing pitches. He's going through sequences that are very, very effective. And, when he does that, you can see how good he can potentially be. And, he continues to grow. I mean, I don't think he's completely done yet.
This is from a guy, Carlos Rodon, who says that he still doesn't have his A stuff yet.
I do believe he's a top of the rotation pitcher. I think we've seen just the tip of the iceberg as far as his development is concerned. I agree with Ricky. I think he is going to get a little better. He doesn't have to get too much better, but he'll get more consistent with his command. He'll get more consistent with his emotions. I think that's a big factor. But right now we're seeing how good he can be, and that's very good.
Carlos Rodon making that step from good to great in front of us as the Sox and Royals get ready for game number 1 of 3 from Guaranteed Rate Field. We always keep you in the loop for White Sox baseball. The fastest internet and best in-home Wi-Fi experience. Call or visit an Xfinity store today. Right now, James Shields, appearance number 400 in his Major League career, start number 398. And here is the lineup he will face, written out by Edgar Frederick Yost III. They call him Ned. Whit Merrifield, Alex Gordon, Salvador Perez, then Duda, Herrera, Bonifacio, Dozier, Escobar, and Butera, the usual suspects for Kansas City.
Let's take a look at the defense, and now Ricky Renteria is going to put them out there tonight with Nicky, Adam, and Abisail in the outfield, left to right. Yomer, Tim, Yoan, and Jose in the infield with Omar Narvaez getting a nod behind the plate. James Shields on the hill looking for his 5th win of the year. His ERA a touch below 4.5. Opponent's batting average at 237. That's pretty good. And we'll take a look at what he's probably going to feature tonight. 28% is four-seam fastball, the cutter at 22%, then the curve and the changeup pretty much interchangeable. The umpires for the game tonight: Mark Harrelson has the plate, Trip Gibson at first, Ryan Additon is at second, and Adrian Johnson is at third. So on a gorgeous night for baseball, Ned Yost has his Kansas City's in town once again. Seems like they were just here. That's because they were. And their team has really struggled. They've traded away a couple of good players. They're in the same situation pretty much as the Sox, only a bit behind them because they hadn't started the rebuild coming into this year. Ricky Renteria, in the second year of his rebuild, understands how frustrating it can be. But he's got his team playing hard each and every day, which is the way you should do it. So we're ready to play baseball on this gorgeous night. I'm ready to turn it over to my voracious play-by-play man, Jason Benetti.
Yeah, I can put away a pregame meal, that's for sure. Welcome back. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, so Whit Merrifield will lead it off, and he has been tiresome for the Sox in the recent past. He's 13 for 46 against the Sox this year. And one of those players you look at and you say, yeah, you'd take him on your team.
There's a lot of people that might enjoy Merrifield. Even though he got to the major leagues a little bit later than most, he's still a quality player just about in every aspect. They can play anywhere.
Yeah, center field, second base, we've seen him there. You feel like if you put him at first or third or the corner outfield, he'd do that as well. Shields pumps in strike 2. 400 games for James Shields, so he is top 60 active, and he's a starter. That includes all relievers as well in terms of appearances. As he tries to get rid of Merrifield. The Royals are 3-10 since we last saw them. That was just a couple weeks ago. And in fact, Kansas City has 3 straight road trips, which include a stop here.
Sounds like that Tampa Bay schedule.
Yeah, where they've got Toronto for basically eternity.
For 3 trips in a row.
On the ground, and he found a hole. The shift was on. He didn't care. He thought about second base and won't go. It's a leadoff single on 2 strikes for Merrifield.
James has always thrown very well against these Royals, the team he pitched for. He's 9-3 lifetime against them with an ERA just over 4. So he's handled them very well in the course of his career. And in the course of his career, he's 5 games over 500 lifetime with an ERA and even 4.
So here's Gordon, 34 years old now. It seems like Alex Gordon has been in our American League Central lives for a very long time.
Started out a third baseman, became a Gold Glove left fielder.
In the air, left-hand side. Delmonico to the warning track. Nicky crashing in to make the catch. 1 down. Well, 2 down if you include Nicky.
That was a very strong play. Salutes the crowd who appreciates the effort. Gordon, who had a good series last time in town, starts it off the right way, going to the opposite field, and Nicky went up, robbed him of at least a 2-base hit.
You'd think he's tipping his cap to the crowd, but instead he's actually looking at the defensive alignment for the next play. And that batter is Salvador Perez, the 28-year-old DHing today. Kansas City didn't get to the hotel until about 3:15 this morning, so excuse the Royals if they look a little sluggish this lovely evening. They had some rain delay theater, 3 straight nights.
I was going to say, the first 2 nights, the rain delay wasn't all that lengthy. Last night, that game started at 9:30. It was supposed to start at 7, so they were delayed quite a bit.
Keep your eye on the Blue Jays score in New York. They're leading 4-2 early on in the 3rd, but Toronto had to fly to New York from Kansas City, so that is likely not a terribly fun day they've had.
Well, on the bright side, they did lose an hour.
Always upbeat. 2 balls and no strikes on Salvi, who's got 21 homers to lead Kansas City, a team that has had sort of a home run desert this year, just 104, and that's 28th in the majors.
We only have 1 other player in double figures. That's Lucas Duda. And by a wide margin, Salvi leads them in grounding into double plays. He's grounded into 17 of them, and ground ball here would be welcome.
Hey, your 2018 Chicago White Sox are presented by Guaranteed Rate, your trusted teammate throughout the mortgage process. Experience the difference today at rate.com. Guaranteed Rate, the sponsor of tomorrow's Tim Anderson bobblehead.
One thing you don't want to sponsor is the walks of Salvi Perez. He's hit close to 400 times.
Yeah.
He's walked 12 times.
Yeah, you're not getting a whole lot of bang for your buck.
Nope.
ROI, as
No,
they say.
no mention. You get no mentions.
If you want 2 a month.
The walks sponsored by Halley's Comet.
2 balls, 2 strikes on Salvi. Merrifield at first.
Merrifield will take off. That is a big part of his game. 26 steals, been caught 6 times. With that in mind, James decides to go over there just to keep him close.
Two is swung through for strike 3. 2 gone.
Slow curveball. Salvi well out in front of it.
Take a look at what James has done changeup wise the past couple of years. 2016, he was throwing that pitch that he relied on so heavily early in his career. It dropped to 11% last year. It's seen a rejuvenation this season.
I think one of the reasons why he's throwing more of it this year is that velocity has been up a couple of ticks this year. So instead of throwing around 90 consistently, he's thrown about 92 consistently. Because of that, there's more disparity between the straight change and his fastball. Consequently, it's a better pitch for him, and he's using it a lot more this year than he did last.
We've seen the payoff in terms of batting average against as well, and he throws basically everything you can think of at this point. You said slow curveball, and it is for a lot of people, but he can uncork that 69 thing as well. That eephus that he throws.
Well, he realizes that the stuff isn't quite what it used to be, and because of that, he's gone to the invent a pitch philosophy. And that's pretty much, well, that was the philosophy of Greg Maddux, whose philosophy was never the same velocity with the same pitch and the same at bat.
Merrifield runs. Throw to second base is there. He is out. Rare is the day when Whit Merrifield is apprehended, but he is red-handed in the first. Sox will bat against Junis after this. Giannis Sanchez-Abreu, Davidson, who's torched the Royals this year, Garcia, Narvaez, Anderson, Delmonico, and Gould.
Let's take a look at the defense. And now Ned Yost is going to put him out there with Gordon, Merrifield, and Bonifacio left to right. Then it's Dozier, Escobar, Herrera, and Duda in the infield. Drew Butera gets a nod behind the plate. Jacob Junis on the hill, looking for his 7th win. Sox are looking for his 12th loss. ERA .482. That's what he throws, a slider, his favorite pitch, and his best pitch.
First pitch, ball 1 to Moncada, and Junis just trying to get through this at bat without a run on the board. He has been leadoff homered against by Moncada twice this year. And Yoan scorches this ball to first for out number 1. It wasn't going to leave the park, but it should have been a hit.
Duda made a terrific play, ranging to his right, keeping this out of the outfield. Duda's really improved defensively. And Yuan, not the happiest man in the ballpark, as he was robbed.
He's dipped into the Yolmer Sanchez glasses collection. But Yolmer, as always, slightly more stylish than everybody else. First one is called ball 1 to Sanchez, who's on a season high tying 5-game hit streak. Breaking ball that faded inside. 2-0. Ball 3. Jose awaiting a chance, and he won't get it yet. 3-1.
Normally, Junis has exceptional control, just 37 walks in 127 innings. That's pretty good, especially to go with 122 strikeouts.
Yolmer wanted to make him throw a strike. He did. 3-2 from Junis, whose August has been once again his best month so far this year, just like it was last year in his rookie season. On the payoff, that's ball 4. Join us Saturday, September 1st. Sox take on the Red Sox, 6:10 p.m. First 10,000 fans, 21 and over, get a White Sox adult onesie presented by Budweiser. Watch your Sox in ultimate comfort. White Sox fans, this Bud's for you. Get your tickets at whitesox.com today. I'm told we're contractually obligated to do our open that night in the adult onesie. So I'm planning to get sick.
But those are nice tops. Do they come with the bottoms?
So just going to refer you to the dictionary on onesie.
Will you get onesie top and onesie bottom? It's kind of nice.
It's Eastern European.
It's really a good look.
Accent-wise.
Here's looking at you, kid.
She's looking for your wit.
That's it. Well, it's gone. It left on vacation.
1-0. Jose hits it foul. 30+ doubles, 5 straight years.
And the one thing you've got to look for, and this is not against just Junis, it's against every pitcher that really likes to use a slider. If it's a right-hand pitcher, you're a right-hand hitter. The tendency is to take that slider away, roll over it, ground it to the left side. That's one of the things you have to try to avoid, because that's what Junis is trying to get you to do.
Set up inside, he misses up and in. 2-1. See Avi waiting, Davidson in between Abreu and Garcia.
It would be a monumental accomplishment for Jose to get to 100 runs driven in again this year, but he's at 73. He's been hot enough to do that.
Well, it's about opportunity. If he's presented the chance to have people on in front of him, he'll get there the way he's swinging it right now.
You would think so. I mean, he's at the point of his season, and there hasn't been too many points this year where if you make a mistake on Jose, he's going to hit it hard.
It's called a strike. Delayed call. 3-2.
That just barely had a piece of the upper reaches of the outside corner. Well, Butera thought it was up and inside, so he yanked it back in the zone and got the call.
Sanchez at first draws a throw.
Well, if Ricky Renteria believes that Jose is going to make some contact, then he will run with Sanchez to stay out of the double play.
There's Ricky and his scouting reports. Three and two will come at some point.
Looked like Yolmer was just starting to lean towards second as the throw went behind him. Outfield straightaway, fairly deep all the way around.
A third straight throw. A couple of Boo Birds have joined us.
Not too many yet. One more will bring out a bunch of them.
See, I always thought the limit was 3. I thought 3 and you definitely draw the jeers. But tonight there's a more forgiving crowd.
Well, it's Elvis night. That's really the answer to everything related to this evening.
Well, that means it's 1 for the money and then 2 for the show. They're gonna ask to challenge this, I think. The Royals think that Sanchez was picked off, and shockingly, they did not challenge the play at second base to end the top of the first, which we thought going to break was really close, and they're going to challenge this one. Let's see what Ned Yost is going to get out of this replay review.
Yolmer was leaning the other way. There's no doubt about that.
I think that's tough to overturn, don't you?
Well, look, the hand was very close to the bag before he got tagged on the butt. The question will be, definitively, was it there with enough time? And it was really difficult to tell on that last replay.
Yeah, clear and convincing proof. The challenge's value in importance in the game grows as the game goes on, but you have to be really sure early on if you're going to use this, because you have no idea what else is coming.
That's it.
So it'll either be Sanchez safe at first and the Royals without a challenge for the rest of this game until the crew chief challenge comes into play the final 3 innings, or he's out and the Royals maintain their challenge. So they're going to take off the headset. Let's see what the answer is. Safe. That's an odd challenge.
Yeah, I would think with 1 out in the first inning on a 3-2 pitch, using a challenge there, I think what you said was correct. You have to be definitively sure that you are right. You don't want a 50-50 challenge. That was a 50-50 challenge. That was flip a coin.
Yeah, at best, right? It's interesting. Sox will take it. Sanchez runs, and it's a foul ball. I mean, you think about it, you got 5 full innings of baseball at this point now where you cannot challenge and the other team can. That puts you at a grave disadvantage. Can't take your seeds away, though.
And Ned realizes there's no carryover in challenges from one year to the next, so he's not going to have like a barrel full of challenges heading into 19.
3-2 popped up. Sanchez watches it fly, still holding. The ball is finally in the glove of Merrifield. Took a while for somebody to feel real good about them being the claimant on that ball. 2 down.
Visibility right now is not great. And Merrifield, who's an infielder by trade, playing center field, finally calling for it. And Escobar gets out of the way. Herrera gets out of the way, and Merrifield makes the play.
The 2 down for Davidson. Sanchez still at first. Matt with 17 home runs, 8 of those against Kansas City. There was that slider from Junis.
This would be a very good time for the Sox to get to Junis, because he doesn't have what he had last time out against St. Louis. That was great command of everything. So far he's had some problems with that slider, and he's fallen behind a lot of the Sox hitters, which for him is not a good place to be.
Two balls, no strikes. Matt lifts it to left center field. That's down for a hit. Sanchez finds his way to third. Runners at the corners. A direct result of getting behind.
If you don't have an overwhelming fastball, if you're going to pitch 2-0-3-1, you're going to give up a lot of runs. He tried to throw that fastball in on his hands, even though Butera wanted this ball away. And that shows you Junis yet does not have the real good command, because when a pitcher misses his spot by 2.5 feet, you know he's not feeling real good about how he's commanding the baseball.
That ball just presented itself.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, it's a feeling that a lot of pitchers find will not come to them in the early parts of the game.
Maybe his best pitch right there.
That was by far his best slider, no doubt about it.
Sanchez at third, Davidson at first. 2 down, first inning. Right field side, Bonifacio. And that will retire this side. Sox look like they might fly in and get a run, but it was a soft landing for Junis. Elvis Knight, parachuters, what can be better?
Runs on Duncan.
You know what? My favorite part of the Elvis getup is the glasses.
You know, when you have the light glasses, it makes things much brighter around the ballpark, which is why now I'm sporting them, because now that I become a glass half full kind of guy,
Yeah.
I wanted things a little bit brighter.
I think that's a really good idea. Problem is, there's
Yeah.
one minor problem with the whole thing.
And that would be that they don't look particularly good.
Oh, no. That's not it at all. It's that you look like the cover of Madman Across the Water. You look like Elton John more than Elvis right now.
Really?
Yeah.
Ooh. Well, that's not so bad, I guess.
Can you do a couple bars of Tiny Dancer for us?
I can do a couple of Tiny Dancers, yeah. I can do some of that, certainly. But, yeah, discretion precludes me from doing it at this point. But stay with us. Like an hour or two after the game, I'll be right there with you, folks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you heard it here first. You do. You look a lot like Elton John with those things on.
Well, yeah.
Are you living free in Philadelphia freedom right now?
No,
you
not doing
look
that.
like it.
Really?
Yeah.
Resemble Bernie Taupin a bit more. But okay.
You are the lyrics guy. 2-2 on Duda. Thanks for joining us on Elvis Night. Elvi everywhere.
Bunch of those. Some of them very good looking.
Two. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Duda over top of that breaking ball from Shields and one gone.
A couple of strikeouts in a row, and the stuff is starting to come back to James. That's a good one. Biting down and in, and Duda with very little chance.
One down for Herrera, who actually should have been a cheerleader growing up.
And why would that be?
Well, he is Rosel Amado Herrera. His middle name starts with A, so his monogram is Ra.
Yeah.
Which means Ra could have been a cheerleader.
Only if his second name was Ra.
You'd have to have a second Ra.
There
Or it'd
you
be
go.
the shortest cheer in America. On the ground, back to Shields. Underhanded to first for route number 2. Head to the ballpark. It is Dollar Hot Dog Wednesdays. Take advantage of this unbeatable deal. Wednesday, August 22nd. Sox and the Twins, 1:10 p.m. day hot dogs. Brought to you by Securian Financial, who can help you make every moment count. Find out more at Securian.com. And for tickets, you go to WhiteSox.com/dollardogs today.
And this homestand features one more Dollar Hot Dog Wednesday. It happens to be a day game, so you can eat a lot and not feel all that full when you go to dinner.
That's exactly how you do it. You eat a bunch of hot dogs early in the game, have one for dessert, and then have a small dinner.
Yeah.
That ball was not far away from the booth next door. Did you see it coming, or is your ability to see the ball a little more amber right now?
No, it's really good. I'm getting a very close look on the baseball. That was almost off the noggin of Gene Honda.
Ball and a strike on Bonifacio. We have had some tough weather early this year, right? But beautiful weather the last couple homestands. It's been wonderful.
And hopefully it stays that way. We think this is going to be not only a well-attended weekend, but a good weather weekend as Kansas City provides the opposition. Then it's off to Minneapolis for a makeup game against those Twins before coming back here to play the Twins a couple of games. That was a night game on Tuesday night, and the aforementioned Wednesday afternoon Dollar Hot Dog Wednesday game.
That just sat down for strike 2 on Bonifacio. Royals had a hit to lead off from Merrifield. Sox got a hit from Davidson in the first, but no score yet. It's 2-2. Line to third, Sanchez for round number 3. Well, this is the view through that color of Elvis glasses. Steve's still saying goodbye to the yellow brick road. You're wondering what the playoff situation is for the minor league affiliates. Birmingham 7 games back. Winston-Salem is going to the postseason. Kannapolis 10.5 back, and Charlotte 9.5 back. So it looks like very possibly Winston-Salem might be the only postseason team of the full season affiliates for the Sox. But that Dash team continues, although they got swept the last couple of days, continues to play very good baseball even with the promotions. Last 7 starts now for a couple minor leaguers are worth noting. Michael Kopech, last 7 starts, a 1.84 ERA, 4 walks, 59 strikeouts.
I would say the big thing is he's gotten the ball over the plate consistently, which is what the Sox were looking for out of Michael.
So you got that. 4 walks in 7 starts looked like a pipe dream after his open to the season, but I guess that's the definition of development.
That's getting the innings under your belt and understanding how to do it when you don't feel your best.
And then you got Dylan Cease, who started the season in Advanced A Winston-Salem. We've been very impressed with him as a guy. Last 7 starts, a 1.08 ERA.
He's been remarkable.
Omar up the middle, another hit for him. It's a leadoff single, unless he's out, which he is.
That was just a terrific play by Herrera.
Just stole that ball from him. Didn't think there was any way he was going to get there.
Well, the benefit is that he's probably as tall a second baseman as there is in baseball. Now, he's not normally a second baseman, but at 6'3", something along those lines, 6'3", 6'3.5", he's got very good size, and it helped him here. Good solid throw, and out by an eyelash at first base. That was a terrific play.
Wow, what a play by Herrera at second. As there's ball 1 for Anderson. Off the bat, didn't think there was any way he was going to get there, and he did. 1-1 to Tim. Rosell Herrera, young second baseman, took one away from Omar. And now 2-1 for Anderson. Sanchez walked. Davidson is single in the first, and nothing yet for the Sox here in the second. Tim gets into it left field. Gordon back at the warning track, and he can't make the play. It bounces away from him. Anderson on his way for third. Tim is safe at first.
I think Merrifield showed you a little of the inexperience of a man moving from the infield to center field, because normally a center fielder is going to sprint to the baseball, and if the left fielder can't get it, he's going to be there for the carom. Again, Merrifield is moved to center field. Doesn't make him a center fielder, it makes him an infielder playing center. If he sprints to this ball, he gets it on the carom, and it's a 2-base hit. But by not getting there, he allowed the extra base for Tim. Good place to score from, especially with just 1 out.
So then you end up with Nicky with an opportunity for a productive out to drive in the run. Infield in now for the Royals. And there's strike 1. Not a great ratio early on for Junis.
No, it's not near as good as it's going to be, because normally he has very good control. Just hasn't had it quite yet.
Two strikes on Nicky. Angle to follow. Oh, 2. Wanted to go and didn't. 1-2.
Normally Butera very good at blocking low pitches, and if you're going to call a pitcher's wipeout pitch, and for Junis it's the slider. The good slider, the wipeout slider, is going to be in the dirt. Butera knows that, and so he's got to be ready to block anything if he calls the same pitch again.
Up and out, 2-2. Junis, strikeouts by sliders this year. He gets basically all of them. 83% on that slider.
Pretty amazing, but he likes it. It's been a great pitch for him, and he stays right there with it.
Carlos Rodon on that list as well, number 7 in baseball in strikeouts by sliders. In the air left field. Gordon to the corner. And that ball's foul. Well, he gave it everything, but he was probably better off not catching that ball, even if he could have. Or you can make the argument at least.
Well, the catch yields the run. And there's two schools of thoughts on that. When it's an automatic run, there's some people, especially if you've got a really bona fide 11 strikeout per 9 inning guy on the mound. If you've got a strikeout pitcher, maybe you're better served. But if you've got a pitcher who throws to contact, and even though Junis is up around 8, maybe 8 1/4 strikeouts per 9 innings, which is good, he's not one of the great strikeout pitchers around.
On the ground, Escobar flags it down. Nice play by the Royals shortstop. It keeps Anderson at third with 2 out.
The contact play wasn't on. If it was on, there's a very good chance Tim scores because Escobar is going away from the throw. He's drifting to his left. This ball's up the middle. If Tim was going on this, it would have been very difficult for Escobar to right his balance and get the throw home going away from the throw. But the contact play was not on. Consequently, the run didn't score. Becomes even a bigger at bat for Adam Engel.
Adams hit the ball well at points this week, including a home run after that robbery at home. Last the Sox were here. Center field. It's going to be Herrera who puts it away, and that retires the side. Christine O'Reilly joins us after this to talk about a new charity initiative involving Hawk when we come back. No score, Sox and Royals, third inning. We're joined by Christine O'Reilly, Vice President for Community Relations for the Sox, to tell us about a new charity initiative you got going on. It involves Hawk. Tell us about it.
It does. We're doing a special opportunity for fans, a raffle. We're calling it He Gone for Charity. And it's really a sweepstakes. So fans have an opportunity to enter at a number of different levels and all different price levels. And there's a prize tied to each of those dollar levels. But in addition to that, with their purchase of this prize, they also get entered into a raffle. So that's where the sweepstakes come in. And the grand prize from anybody who buys into this promotion gets to come out to Hawk Day on September 2nd, and they get to be on the field for the ceremony, have a private meet and greet with Hawk, get scout seats, and get all of the different items that are included in the package. So it's just another fun way of letting our fans really celebrate Hawk's illustrious career and get something for themselves and have a great opportunity to be a part of the ceremony on the field.
What is the highest level at this point? Puts you into the place where you could get one of those prizes that, I mean, you will remember for the rest of your life.
If you want to be a part of the ceremony, really every prize level, whether you spend $10 or $300, is going to get you a chance. The more money you spend, the more raffle tickets you get entered into the drawing for the grand prize. So for $10, Hawk's going to record an electronic thank you message, so you'll get this message, and you'll get 100 entries into the raffle ticket, into the raffle drawing for the grand prize. The top prize is a $300 donation where you get 2 tickets to the Hawk documentary premiere.
Awesome.
But for that, you get 3,000 entries into the sweepstakes.
So I have an idea, and
it's like a Sox math thing.
I think it's terrific. I have an idea. Like,
what's that?
Well, how about $500 you get Hawk for the weekend?
He just comes to your barbecue?
Yeah, wherever you want. Family outing.
You know, that's a Bob Grimm call.
I
you got to get Bob Grimm on the phone.
I normally love when Steve starts thinking like that.
I know, it scares
usually
me to
you end
death.
up with money in your pocket or something that you really...
My palms begin to sweat. That people can't see it. It makes me really nervous when he's like, I got an idea.
I have it's a small idea. Hawk for the weekend. Think about it. I mean, it's not necessarily a bad thing.
Are you in?
Personally, I am not, because being an employee of the organization, I would be disqualified. That's why I have to recuse myself. I'm just the idea guy.
See how that works, Jason?
Me and Bill Blazejowski.
well when you flip the tables on him, though.
See how that works?
So WhiteSox.com/Hawk is where people go, right?
Can't make it any easier.
No,
WhiteSox.com/Hawk. And again, an opportunity. We have these really cool custom hats, autographed baseballs, the electronic message. And like I said, the opportunity to go to the premiere. And then depending on the level that you enter in for the item that you want, you also get these raffle tickets with a chance to be out here for Hawk Day. And you've seen some of our days. I mean, Paul Konerko Day, Mark Burley, Jim Thome most recently. You know we're going to have a really special day planned. And to be able to be on the field and kind of be a part of that is pretty cool. And again, all the money benefits White Sox Charities and Hawk. And you guys have been so supportive of all of the work that White Sox Charities does. So we're kind of leveraging Hawk here and giving fans an opportunity for some fun and raise some money for White Sox Charities.
You saw Burley Day, you saw Thome Day, even the return of Danny Farquhar. The Sox do a great celebration tremendously well, and this is going to be exciting. We'll be there, and you at home, I mean, just wrapping my mind around that as somebody who at the age of 18 would have been like, okay, I'm going to spend all my money on this thing because I want to be there.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So, and you know, I mean, there's only one Hawk.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a really fun, a fun experience for our fans, we think, and the chance to be there on the field that day is pretty cool.
Literally once in a lifetime.
Yes, not for the weekend.
Not for the weekend.
No.
You only get them for part of the weekend.
That's right, Sunday.
What other prizes can people get?
Documentary.
So $10, the electronic thank you, $20, the Hawk documentary DVD, $35, a custom Hawk t-shirt.
A base hit for Butera puts Escobar at third. Runners of the corners here in the third.
$60, a customized Hawk hat and a t-shirt.
Customized Hawk hat.
Look at that Hawk hat. AJ Przinsky has something to do with this Hawk design in this hat. So AJ and Hawk convinced us that we had to make it one of the prizes. It's hard to say no to those guys.
Yeah.
It's like a 1-2 punch. $100, an autographed baseball, and then the $300 is 2 tickets to the premiere, which includes an opportunity for a photo with Hawk, an autographed replica scorecard of Hawk's last game, and the t-shirt. And again, at each of those different levels, the higher level you enter at, the more raffle tickets you get for the grand prize. So mark off September 2nd on your calendar, participate, whitesox.com/Hawk, and hopefully you'll be the lucky winner and be able to be on the field with us that day.
For folks who haven't been around or watching when you've described what Sox Charities does, where does some of the money and some of the funds that you get, where do they go?
Yeah. You know, Jason, a lot of what we do is through grants. So we have nonprofit organizations across the city that reach out to the White Sox for grant funding to support some really amazing programs that are, working on getting kids through high school and into college and through college. Really great services for kids and families in crisis. We continue to support cancer research and treatment. all of our youth baseball initiatives, you've heard us talk so many times about our ACE program. So our ACE program and getting those kids not only high-level baseball instruction and opportunities, but the chance to go to college on a baseball scholarship. So those are just some of the things that we do with our White Sox Charities funds. And, you know, we owe that to our fans. We're really, the impact that we make on the community is so powered by our fans. And they've been so generous, and we keep coming up with all these different ideas, and I come in here and say, hey, make a donation, but we always make sure that we try to have something fun and in it for the fans as well. So here, just with the kind of the play on Hawk's final game and creating some opportunities for fans to have a little piece of Hawk that they can bring home and raise some money for White Sox Charities.
I'm always impressed. Every time you come in here, you have a totally different game to play or way to jump in, or the sock split thing you guys did on Tommy Day was awesome.
Hey, I have to give kudos to Sarah Martin and Caitlin Hanley from our CR team, because everybody's like, oh, that was so great. And they were the ones that did that whole thing. $89,000 in a jackpot. The winner took home over $42,000. How fun is that?
That actually is that's amazing. That's
I
really
know,
amazing.
and I mean, it's just exciting, and the fans respond so well, and they get caught up in it. So we have a great community relations team. You guys know them. They're just amazing, and between the team that's kind of, you know, in the office and our fans, it's just it's an amazing combination.
We saw Leori Garcia checking into right field as this ball is going to score the first run of our game today. Escobar comes in, Butera to third, and the batter Merrifield to second base. You've been really good luck for us in the past, so I tend to not say that this is a you thing.
I
in
have
this
good
third
luck and
inning.
bad luck.
So tell us about how the season's gone in terms of Sox Charities and some of the initiatives that you've done so far this year that people may not have heard about.
I mean, we really hit the ground running. We did an event that we'd never done before, and that was the Beyond the Diamond, the season opening celebration at the Atrium. You guys were there, and talk about setting the tone for the season. You know, we really used that event to showcase our players and the clubhouse and their personalities. So we were off to such a great start. And then we've just had a lot of fun. You know, you mentioned the campaign that we did with Sox Split. You know, we do our annual 25 for 25 giving campaign, which was really successful. Sox Serve Week, where we take a whole week-long series and we have a fundraising activity every single night with an outreach event. So I'm sure everybody's feeling a little tired, but it's just, again, we just keep trying.
You never get tired, though. You're like always passionate about these projects. I don't know how you do it.
It's just, you know what, though? Somebody was asking me, you know, they're like, well, what is it that drives you? On any given day, at any given moment, I can think about or call or talk to or reach out to somebody whose life was impacted by the Chicago White Sox, whether it's by our outreach efforts or through our grant funding, and to know that starting with Jerry Reinsdorf, all the way through the organization, throughout that clubhouse, we get such support that really, you know, that saying of, you know, kind of the wind behind, you know, beneath our wings. It's when you know you have top-down support and the players are so amazing, and that you actually can name and talk about people that we've met whose lives have been made better because of the generosity of our fans, because they support our giving initiatives. So it's like I have the best job in the world. You know, it's, you know, we just give away White Sox joy. It's kind of a cool gig.
Yeah, right. What about the players, though? You mentioned how willing they are to be involved, but then there's above and beyond, like Tim and Bria, the Anderson family.
Yeah, and Abreu's and Renteria's. You know, our players are really supportive, and we ask them to do a lot. You know, it's a busy season just on the field. We ask them to do a lot in the community. But there's a couple of the players who have said to us, hey, this is my special interest.
As this will score a run, Delmonico throws it in. Butera scores, and the Royals are up 2-0.
But, you know, Tim and Bria came to us and they said, you know, we want to do something in Chicago that impacts kids, and is there, can you help us set something up? And so that
so they came to you with that.
They did. And, you know, we talked to the guys in spring training and we say, we're going to ask you to do things, but if you have something that's of special interest to you and your family, talk to us and we'll try to create an opportunity for you. So with the Andersons, we connected them with an organization called Youth Guidance, and it's a program called Becoming a Man. And it's really a violence reduction strategy. It's school-based, and it's these kids in the inner city who participate in these circles where they really kind of break down the challenges that they're facing. They work on different character development, impulse control, respect for womanhood, you know, goal setting.
This one to right, Leary with the throw. It's going to be up the line and is safe at home. Merrifield comes around. It's 3-0.
So guys like Tim Anderson, you know, that then we're creating, we actually work with this organization. We know the organization. And then Tim and Bria just say, you know, hey, what more can we do? In fact, at the end of this month, we're lining up an opportunity with them that's going to be called Cuts for Kids. And they want to go into the community, into a barbershop, which is really part of a cultural institution in certain neighborhoods. And they want to do free haircuts for kids. And it'll be the weekend before Chicago Public Schools goes back to school. So we're lining that up for later this month. You know, Jose Abreu is, what, 4 or 5 years into his program called Abreu's Amigos. He really wanted to do something for kids or young adults with special needs. So we connected him with Easter Seals, and he has an amazing program for kids with a diagnosis of autism, and they work on socialization skills and being able to come into an environment with lots of stimulus and how to deal with that and actually enjoy a baseball game. So it's a combination of the players really accepting the responsibility that we ask them to accept in terms of supporting our initiatives, but also our responsibility of creating something for a player and their family that's a fit for their interests.
I have one more suggestion. I don't want you to get nervous.
Okay.
But when you do
I'm
come
holding
up,
my breath.
when
I
you
just
do come
realized
up
I'm
again,
holding my breath.
when you do come up again,
Yes.
if you're going to spend this much time to get all of your programs in, which are great programs, and our fans should know about them, come up when we're at bat, so that we can actually have an extended inning and score some runs.
It's his
as
fault.
opposed
He said
to Kansas
something about
City.
good luck.
Yeah, this is horrible.
That's strike 3
And we're done.
for both James Shields and Steve. How about that, Christine?
Have a
Thank
great
you so
rest
much.
of the night, guys.
Great
Thanks
to
for all
see
the
you.
time.
Thank you. WhiteSox.com/Hawk. Bottom 3 next.
$97999, and the 300th texter is going to win a $30 gift card. Subway, so much sandwich.
Rangers turned to triple play last night, I think it was. One of the last 2 nights. Triple, bases loaded, nobody out, triple play.
That'll usually get you out of a jam.
Certainly will.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Moncada. By the way, we'll get you an update on Avisail Garcia when we have one. He came out of the game in that top of the 3rd while Christine was up here telling us about He Gone for Charity, the new Hawk initiative. Go to WhiteSox.com/Hawk to be a part of that. Merrifield in center as out number 1.
So I haven't had a chance to ask you, what with all of the very traveled and such, situation with Miami and Atlanta.
Oh, we're going to do that tonight?
Yeah. Just your philosophy of that.
Yeah, I think you're talking about Urania hitting Acuna.
Yes.
Acuna was on a great streak of leadoff home runs.
4 home
Four
runs
in a row.
in 3 games.
Yep. So then the action was to hit him to start the game.
That's what they did, hit him in the elbow.
I'm going to refer to Buster Olney's tweet about that when he said the equivalent is if a pitcher's throwing a no-hitter and the batter leaves the batter's box, runs to the mound and starts to beat him with the bat. That's the equivalent. So if that were to happen, the guy would be suspended 20, 30 games, something like that. I don't think there's any place for hitting a guy.
Like Junis just did? Nice of you to mention
Get
it then,
rid of
by
him.
the way.
Wow, there has never been better timing. I don't think there's any place for money falling from the sky.
Got him right in the shoe on that slider. So Yolmer winds up at first base.
You can pitch inside without intentionally drilling a guy. And frankly, here's where I stand. This is the crux of where I stand. If you're not good enough to get the guy out, do better. Don't hit the guy. It's a cheap way out. Your thoughts?
Oh, well, I mean, one can get away on occasion, you know.
That's you lying.
No, I'm just saying.
No, it's lying.
It can. No, I'm going to surprise you.
Yeah.
I don't believe that you should hit a guy because he's hitting you.
Yeah.
Because if that were the case, I would have hit Jim Rice like 100 times. Because he just killed me. 21 for 37 lifetime. I just kept on hitting him, but I didn't.
I'm so proud of you right now.
Why?
Because you don't want to hit the guy.
No, I mean, I don't think if he's hitting you, you should hit him intentionally because he is hitting you or your team. That's my own philosophy. You should have good enough control to either push a guy back or find some other way to do whatever it is you need to do without doing that, because he's just doing his job. When you do your job, you don't want anybody interfering with you doing your job. That's, you know, you strike out a guy maybe 5, 6, 7 times in a row. He should have, well, rationalizing hitting a guy because he's hitting you is giving that guy the opportunity to do something to you if you're getting him out consistently, and that's not the case. You're playing the game the way you know how to play it, and so you should go for it from there. So I wasn't a big fan of that, and a couple of the responses of various people toward that, by the way.
I'm interested in that for sure. That's a pop-up for out number 2. What do you mean responses from certain people? Mattingly?
Well, no. I mean, I'm just saying that there were a lot of different people that weighed in on this, quite obviously, because it was a topic of discussion as we are discussing it now.
Sure.
Everybody has differences of opinion, and I certainly agree with that. But rationalizing hitting a guy because he's doing the job against you isn't necessarily the side that I want to personally come down on, because I don't think that's the right side to be on. I understand how the game was played because I played it at that time.
Right.
I played it at the time where if a guy hit the ball hard against you, even if it was a foul ball, you threw at him either the next time up or the next pitch. I mean, that's just what you did. Game was played that way. If you hung around by second base, somebody was going to clean your clock if you were the pivot man. That's just the way it was.
At the plate,
same thing with catchers. Yeah, you're going to get knocked down, and baseball's made a concerted effort to change the culture of the game, making it a less violent game, making sure that some of its stars don't exit because they're hurt. I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing. I think it's actually a pretty good thing, but I would do things differently than most. The plate, I think, has got to be reevaluated and redefined. If a catcher wants to tag somebody out and block the plate, then fine. Then a runner can run him down. Some catchers will do that. Other catchers won't.
That's right.
If you're going to concede the plate, if you want to be out in front of the plate to make the tag, then if you run a catcher down, that's when you should be suspended. But I think you need to take the interpretation of the umpire out of some of these rules. In other words, has he gone over and tried to block the plate without the baseball? That's interpretation. That's something that I think we can do away with by making a very simple plan, and that is you want to block the plate, block it. You can be run into. You don't want to block it, don't block it, and he can't run into you. It's as simple as that.
Can't go out of his way.
Right.
Yeah.
And we'll get to more of this after this.
I'm so happy we agree with this. I'm so happy. I'm overjoyed. To the fourth we go. Put those on. Here's a wig and a peanut butter, banana, and bacon sandwich for me. So
I'd like to leave this on the prize shelf. I think that everybody should have the opportunity to get one of these. It was an Elvis special. Peanut butter, banana, and bacon.
It's so good.
It's really good.
It's insane.
I'm enjoying it by just like a contact enjoyment.
By osmosis?
Yeah, something like that.
Seriously, we didn't steer you wrong last time, right? When we said go make a root beer float or enjoy a root beer. Make one of these right now. Peanut butter, banana, and bacon. You got to have all three ingredients in your fridge.
Really? Wow. Looks really good, actually.
I always do. Yeah. Uh-huh.
You actually make these at home?
I will now. I gotta go shopping though.
Well, you're gonna take those with you, so you'll have them certainly.
You can win a lot of stuff on the prize shelf today. We've got glasses and Elvis wig, and
well, we had glasses.
Yeah, those have been absconded with. So Sox math coming up. We did get serious though going to break because it's important that there be a voice for the game changing as well. I mean, I think you said it very well that the game has changed some culture-wise, and that's okay. We're not taking away what happened in the game prior to now. It's just evolving with the times.
And certainly,
Jose at first with the pick for round number 1. You were saying?
Certainly nobody wants to see the stars of the game get injured and lose a full season. I mean, that's on the mind of everybody in baseball because you're trying to market your stars. I mean, you see it all the time where guys will do commercials that are stars in the various games they're in. It adds to their identity. It adds to their stardom. That's a good thing. Players leading exemplary lives, helping the community. That's also a good thing. It leads to more awareness about that individual off the field, away from what he does into who he is and how he views his responsibility as a major league player, because this is not a right. This is a privilege to be a major league player. And I think the White Sox have done a great job allowing their players, with obviously the players buying into it, they get involved with the community. And it's a good thing. Being in Chicago, And being involved with the Chicago White Sox is a very good thing because of all the charitable endeavors that White Sox charities entail.
And you want them on the field. I mean, the long and the short of that is you want them to be playing and not injured. There's another sport that has enough trouble with injuries that is causing it major harm. You want somebody like Tim Anderson on the field and able to not only contribute in the community but on the field to a winning team.
No, there's no doubt that that is a huge part of it. And with the occasional bad publicity of some players doing whatever it is they're going to do off the field, it's really nice to see sustained, very good publicity about players doing things off the field that help the community and help the individuals in that community. And Sox Charities, White Sox Charities does just that.
Strike 3 on Bonifacio, 2 gone in this 4th inning. I don't know where you stand on this, though. I don't know if you'd go this far. I'm interested in your take, because you run into a problem where pitchers could be liable suspension-wise if they do something erratic accidentally. I think the suspension should be greater for something that looked like what Urania did. I think losing 1 start for that, for intentionally hitting somebody with a projectile at 90+, I don't think that's enough. You? I figure you might not go that far.
No, I think it's enough with the way the game is structured today. But I think if they want to change things, I think they will take these various activities that they view as being worthy of being suspended, and they'll get more uniform with it. And I agree with you. For a starting pitcher, missing 1 start is not that much of a penalty. Now, missing the amount of money you would miss, obviously, is. But again, this lies with baseball and their view of what they want to be going forward.
Right. It's not a must-do if you want to change things, but it's certainly a way that you can draw a line and say we're not going to tolerate this anymore. Find a better way to police these situations, aka get the guy out. Your job is to get the player out. He's giving him a free base by hitting him and basically conceding that he's not good enough to get the kid out. And if there's stigma attached to that, people will stop doing it. Bottom 4, 3-0 Kansas City. Welcome back to Guaranteed Rate Field, 3-0 Kansas City. We owe you a Sox math question that we'll get to in a moment. First, Leori Garcia, then Omar Narvaez, Tim Anderson to bat against Junis, who's been staked to a 3-0 lead. Kansas City went on a hit parade in the 3rd, 4 hits in the inning against James Shields. Junis to Garcia, who lines out to third, and Dozier. Sox Math brought to you by your local Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Audi dealers. Visit AudiOffers.com for exceptional deals. Hashtag Sox Math on Twitter. First correct answer wins a prize off the prize shelf. Games in this series multiplied by games on the next road trip, the very next road trip, plus Avilan's jersey number minus the number of letters in Jermaine Dye's home state. Got to go back a little bit. Here's Omar. Now, Wellington Castillo has been assigned to AAA Charlotte on a rehab assignment after his 80-game suspension, and that's coming up in the near future. So we'll see what the Sox decide to do with that catching position when Castillo is eligible to come back. But Omar is hitting the ball like he is right now. This is since June the 7th. It's tough to get him out anywhere, even out of the zone.
I was going to say, there's not many places, because of his eye, there's not many places where he's not going to make decent contact. And that's really been the whole case with him, is putting the bat on the ball and having one of the best eyes in baseball. I mean, very rarely do you see Omar swinging a pitch out of the strike zone. When he does swing at a pitch out of the zone, it's almost like man bites dog. I mean, you just don't see it. And that makes for long at bats, and mostly productive at bats.
That was called strike three. Omar didn't like it, and he was right not to like it. It was a bit outside, according to our strike zone.
Well, Omar also realizes it's not where you catch it, it's where it comes over the plate. This is a slider, and you see by the action of Butera, he thought it needed some help to get the strike zone. And that, because it's a slider, you want to make a backdoor slider, which is over the outside corner to a left-hand hitter. The umpire has to be careful that he doesn't call a pitch for where it winds up, as opposed to where it comes across the plate. In that case, it came across the plate out of the zone.
Omar's going to have to get after it next time. One and one. Junis has seemed to find his secondary stuff for the most part.
Yeah, unfortunately for Sox hitters, that slider has come to Junis as he's moved along. He didn't have it in the first or second inning. Things have gotten better for him slider-wise.
That one hung around in the zone. Tim parks it foul. Enjoy your summer nights at the park. Bleachers and Brews. Get one bleacher seat and 2 beers for just $22 to select upcoming games. You got to be 21 and over with a valid ID. Bleachers and Brews is presented by Budweiser. To get your tickets, visit whitesox.com/brews. Sad to say, summer is coming to an end.
Still got maybe a good solid month left.
Yeah, cherish it. Get outside, enjoy the day.
It'll be a very nice weekend.
Night game tomorrow, 6:10 start time. Hope you can join us. Tim Anderson bobblehead night. Here's ball 4. Let's check in with Ed Farmer and Darren Jackson. Farmio's got a sandwich that he's able to eat now, and guess where he got it.
Well, judging by how the sandwich looked, which is identical to the sandwich that was just sitting in front of me, knowing now that the sandwich is not there, I'm going to put 2 and 2 together and feel like you gave my sandwich away. It appears that that's what happened.
Somehow I
I'm
got
just
blamed
guessing.
for that.
You gave mine away.
Good job, detective.
With no bites taken out of it, by the way. So it was entirely as it was delivered to the booth, intact.
Sharing is caring.
Really?
Yeah. Do you rescind your sharing then?
Yeah. Well, no, I'm
case?
more than happy to share with something that I couldn't possibly eat.
Gotta have the peanut butter and banana sandwich, and the bacon's a nice addition here on Elvis Night.
Yeah. That looks like a dog of one sort or another. Could very well be a sausage.
Sausage.
It's got some peppers on it, some hot peppers, some sweet peppers.
Sport peppers.
Some of those. No ghost peppers on.
Outside, high throw. Tim steals bag number 23.
Even with a good throw, it's doubtful Butera gets him. It's a good pitch to run. Butera not happy with the results of it, but it would have taken a perfect throw and then some to get it. Escobar goes up and makes sure the ball stays out of center field.
One of Tim's goals this year was to steal more bags, and that's become very clear throughout this year. He's taken a lot of opportunities to push.
Well, he's 23-7 now. So 23 times out of his 30 attempts, he's been successful. It's not the best in baseball, but it's pretty good.
One-two. Hit hard and through right side. Anderson's coming home. Bonifacio's throw is late, and it's 3-1.
RBI number 12 as Nicky drives it through the right side. It's time for IDOT safe play, reminding you that safe driving habits really are a matter of life and death. Bonifacio comes up, makes a good throw, only can't get it there in time as Tim flashes by him. The stolen base coming into play. Visit lifeordeathillinois.com. That makes it a two-run game.
Royals bullpen has been very gettable this year, so you stay close, you got a shot against Kansas City.
Well, there's another factor that comes into play, and that is 41 times this season, 41 times this season, the Royals have taken the lead in a game and lost that game. It leads the major leagues by 2 over Baltimore, and there's a couple of other teams that aren't really all that close, but for a team that had one of the great bullpens ever assembled, to have fallen on the hard times it has shows you that it is a cyclical game. And Kansas City is on the downside of what for them was a teardown and a rebuild that found them come within 1 game of winning the World Series, only to see them win the World Series the next year. And a lot of that was due to the bullpen and the configuration of that pen.
You handed a game over to that bullpen and they won.
Well, it was a 6th inning game, and sometimes maybe even a little shorter than that. That's the way it used to be in Kansas City. Dayton Moore, the GM, will now have his hands full trying to reassemble a baseball team. He knew how to do it once. He can do it again. It just takes some time.
The AL Central is in that mode for the most part. 4 out of 5 teams are rebuilding, and the Sox were at the vanguard of that. So you'd imagine as the Sox window opens over the course of the next couple of years, that window placement is going to be more open than the competitors for the most part. That's the hope, at least.
Yeah, well, the Sox are definitely ahead on the rebuilds because they started a bit sooner than most of the other teams that were essentially forced into a rebuild after not getting off to a good start, then having a lot of injuries and all of those other things that go into taking a team that views themselves as competitive when the season starts to a team that finishes way up the track as the season moves along.
Just foul of third. Sox are making Junis work here with 72 pitches now through 3 2/3. Rock Falls, west of here near the Iowa border. Jacob Junis. 2-2. He struck him out. Nicky drives in Tim. It's 3-1 after 4. Sponsored by UI Health, providing expert care for you and your family. UI Health, changing medicine for good.
Learn more at uihealth.care.
That's teamwork right there, I'll tell you
Pretty
what.
good.
It's Escobar, Butera, and Merrifield coming up in this 5th inning with the Royals up 3-1. Kansas City a 3-run inning and half a moon for you tonight at the ballpark. Ball 1 from Shields to Escobar. Boy, big series this weekend in the American League West. The A's and the Astros are getting together to see who is playing better baseball right now. Heads up, it's a 2-game spread between Oakland and Houston in that West at this point. Elevated foul at 2-1.
That's really the great thing about divisional play later in the season, where one team is sitting there chasing the other team head to head. And that's where Oakland and Houston find themselves. Seattle 4.5 games back. That's Morton and Edwin Jackson, who's 4-2 with Oakland. Edwin with a 2.48 ERA. How about that?
His last 3 starts, he's not allowed an earned run.
Pretty amazing. He's a wonderful man. I really am happy for him that he found a really nice place to land and everything working out very well for him. Hopefully he continues. Get a chance to see Edwin a lot in the offseason. He is really, I mean, he's been a really good guy wherever he's gone. And there have been a lot of teams that still like the fact that he will take the baseball and go to the mound. He doesn't ever get hurt.
No, he'll go 7 for you if he can. And he's got to work so hard to stay in shape. I mean, he's not with a team. He still has an opportunity to get a look. He goes to AAA. He doesn't really care about that. He feels comfortable. He's going to get a shot, and he has on a winning team.
He stayed remarkably healthy. He's always had a good arm. He's never been able to win consistently, but maybe with a better Oakland team that he's with now and that 4-2 record, I mean, he will win consistently.
Here's your Sox Math answer for tonight, and it is 63. 3 games in the series, 1 game on the road trip. That filler from Minnesota. Avilan is 70. 73 minus 10, California. Jermaine Dye's home state. 63. Your winner is Tricky Trip 702. Going back to back from series to series. Congratulations, Tricky. That ball's walloped to left field. Nicky to the corner, and that ball bounces fair and off the pole, off the ground. That's a double for Escobar.
You don't expect Escobar to pull the ball down the line, so Nicky was playing him in the left center field and had no chance for this. This is a hanging curveball, and when one just sits and spins on the inside part of the plate, you're going to get a good piece of it. This one hop off the pole and out.
So Escobar 2 for 2. And Butera bats.
He is always a very good handler of the bat.
Leading to this bunt, which is popped up, and the Sox will take it. Thank you. Hey, this summer, head to your favorite store and grab some cold Modelo Especial, perfect to enjoy while watching the White Sox. Enter for a chance to win tickets to a White Sox game. No purchase necessary. Ends August 20th. Visit CrownImportsContest.com for rules. Modelo, imported by Crown Imports, Chicago, Illinois. So now Merrifield with runner at second, one out.
Be nice to get him out on occasion.
Yeah, wouldn't it?
Doesn't happen very much.
He's 15 for 48 this year against the Sox. He's hitting over 300 for the year overall. But he's not just an on-base guy. I mean, he's got 31 doubles. He's walked 46 times, 7 homers. Just an all-around good player. James wanted it, didn't get it. 2-0. Back to Oakland for a moment. It was 9-10 games at the All-Star break. They've made up most of this deficit after the break.
When you see them at 72 and 49, I mean, it's really remarkable what they've been able to accomplish under Bob Melvin.
You pointed it out. I mean, they've got such young talent on the corners of the infield. We figured they'd be pretty good when we saw them earlier this year, but this run has been wild. There's a strike, 3-1. Three and 1 to Merrifield. Escobar at second. Shields has a grounded foul of third. 3-2. Kansas City with 3 in the third. Sox with 1 in the home fourth. And that's why we stand at 3-1 at this moment. Three-two. Outside, that's ball 4. 2 on, 1 out for Gordon here in the fifth as Shields faces the team he went up against on opening day. They got to him early. James found his way through and got the Sox a victory.
And Gordon, who had a very good series against our ball club in this park last time, hit the ball well tonight.
Yeah, sac fly in the third, fly ball to left in the first.
Gordon with 5 Gold Gloves as a left fielder for this Royal Ball Club.
Brush to first. Abreu has only one play. Merrifield to second. Escobar to third with 2 out. Time for StatCast AI, powered by AWS. And it's Nicky Delmonico crashing into the wall to make the catch on Gordon in the first.
Covering 80 feet is pretty good.
So 2 down for Salvi Perez, who drove in a run in the third. This is the opener of 3, Sox and Royals. Game 2 tomorrow, 6:10 start time. And James with the lob.
How'd Merrifield get up?
So Escobar at third, Merrifield at second. And another throw to third. James trying to echo, and yet Escobar is sleeping.
Escobar has actually played a little third base, and surprisingly, he's the best they have down there. So the lifetime shortstop has been moved all over by Ned Yost as he tries to get a few more of the young guys some playing time.
Breaking ball for a strike from James to Salvador Perez. We've seen both Phillips and O'Hearn, the left-handers, the last series. Mondesi as well on the bench. Some of the newer players to Kansas City. Not in the lineup tonight, but we expect to see them throughout the series. We told you about Salvador Perez with his 21 homers, by far the Royals leader. Catapults this ball to right, and Garcia for out number 3. 2 stranded for Kansas City. Bottom 5, 3-1.
Sox fans, you can check out the White Sox blog at WGNTV.com, presented by Nationwide's Jeff Vukovich. Go to jeffvuk.com or follow him on social media, because Nationwide is on your side.
Elvis is on our side as well. It's Elvis night at the ballpark as Moncada cleaves a bunt for strike 1.
What it appeared he was trying to do was what's called a slug bunt. Looked like he was trying to hit it straight away shortstop. On the shift, if you ground it to shortstop, there's nobody there. Guaranteed base hit. Good idea, not good execution.
Two strikes on him. Line out to first, fly out to center. And that ball's low, 1-2. Sox will be on the road for all of one game on Monday, that makeup game against Minnesota. Why not just pack the family in the car, drive up north, take in one game, final gasp of summer before the kiddos have to go back to school? It's the perfect time to see the Sox on the road, I think.
Good ballpark, certainly.
That's my suggestion. I've become a travel agent.
Not a bad idea.
Uh-huh. 2-2 on Moncada. Downstairs, you think that's where they want to pitch him?
It would appear 6 pitches into this at bat like he wants to throw it down there.
Look, I know we haven't seen each other for a couple days, but I've really been working on my powers of deduction.
It's very good.
Yeah. That's down as well. Ball 4, leadoff walk for Moncada, who doesn't know it yet.
He does not know that he's got 4 of them.
They celebrate the legendary career of Hawk Harrelson Sunday, September 2nd. Sox and Sox, 1:10 p.m. Coca-Cola Family Sunday pricing with tickets as low as $5, parking as $10. Plus, first 10,000 fans get a Hawk Harrelson nesting doll depicting him throughout his career. That is a fun little item. WhiteSox.com for tickets. Hawk Harrelson nesting dolls could be yours. One's fouled off the umpire, Carlson. I think they should have done like 7 stages of Hawk. Looks like they're only 3, but like really young Hawk all the way through the years. So many decades in baseball, 1 for each decade.
Yes, and you need a nesting doll the size of a regular sized Buick.
I think it's worth it.
Yeah. It's all fun and games till you try to take it home with you.
Don't have that many dollies in the park. 1 strike on Sanchez. And time called. Bonus baseball in Cincinnati tonight. The Reds and the Giants are tied at 1 in the top of the 10th. Giants still trying to be involved in that NL West, though they are 6 back starting play tonight. Runner was off. Sanchez obliges. Moncada on his way to third. Beautifully done by the Sox.
At that point for Yoan, there's no reason to stop because the hit and run was on. Even if it's caught by Herrera, it's going to be a double play anyway, so you might as well just keep your foot on the gas and keep on going. Yoan hesitated until he saw the ball get over the head of Herrera. But at that point where he hesitated, he was out by 30 feet if it's a line drive right at Herrera. Let it tweak something running from first to third as Nick Capra has a little conversation with Yoan.
Jose clips it foul. Abreu, as we take a look at what's good in first pitch swing percentage. Abreu is the White Sox low first pitch swing percentage. Team average 29 and change. Javier Baez does it the most. Joe Mauer does it the least. And the major league average 28% first pitch swing this year. More than a quarter of the time first pitch is hunted. Jose, short center field. Herrera is out on it. Moncada thought about tagging and now declines. One gone. We mentioned Avi came out of the game. That was a manager's decision. So Leury Garcia into right. Ryan Lamar went down to AAA again after a great game the other day in Detroit with his first career home run, and Avi is relegated to watching. No official word as to why that was the decision from Ricky Renteria, but we watched back his at-bat from inning number 1. And he didn't make it to first on the fly ball.
It could very well be that on the fly ball where he wasn't hustling as Avi normally does, that probably necessitated him coming out of the ball game, replaced by Leury.
Throw to first on Sanchez. Look, Ricky Renteria has been very clear about not allowing that habit to seep in. So when he sees something like that, he sounds the alarm and pulls the player, no matter who it is. We've seen it with Wellington Castillo. We've seen it with Avi Garcia.
Well, the one thing for Ricky, he's been consistent. When he sees it, he acts. And doesn't matter who the player is. If he doesn't hustle, then Ricky puts him on a bench.
Tim Anderson's been a part of that. Two balls and a strike on Davidson. So if you're looking for a sacrifice fly, here is essentially where Matt needs to hit it to give the green light to Moncada. That takes into account outfielder arm, base runner speed as well. Good slider from Junis. Certainly Matt has something a little more than sac fly on his mind, but he would take the RBI. Strike 3. Davidson is out. First base occupied. 2 gone.
Good slider. He's got him. Better pickup by Butera.
So innings 4 and beyond for Junis. This is usually where he bogs down. A 7.08 ERA. So we're talking about second and third time through this order in the American League for Junis has been a struggle. It's up to Leury Garcia. He takes strike 1. We mentioned the Royals showed up here in Chicago at 3:15 last night. Toronto was the opponent after a game started past 9 o'clock between those two. Toronto is in a rain delay in New York. That is a kick in the pants. They may not have arrived until sun up, considering Kansas City got here to the hotel at 3:15. You got to fly to New York. You lose the hour.
And another hour on the flight.
Yeah, it's not a great time in New York right now for Toronto. Two balls, two strikes on Garcia. Swing and a miss. He gives himself up. Could have run to first. However, the inning is over. 3-1 Kansas City after 5.
Fans.
True Elvis fans right there. The little ones are even little princes. King Juniors. Where do you think you get kids' Elvis costumes?
At the youthful Elvis store, of course.
I should have known that.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty standard stuff.
Yeah. Boy. First one called a strike on Duda, who's had an 0 for night, couple of strikeouts in the book for him. Junis did a nice job in the bottom of the 5th, getting out of first and third, nobody out. Pop up 2 strikeouts for Junis. The BOA is truly a nice touch. Whatever those are also a nice touch.
Fluorescent rings.
Yeah, so I'd ask you where you get those, but I think I have an idea where you buy those. Is
right
it
around the corner for me.
Yeah.
It's the fluorescent ring store. That's it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He's got more than I actually thought the first time.
Got 3.
Can you even clap with those on?
Sure.
He was trying to clap, but I think it just clangs. The breaking ball low, 2-2 for Duda. If you're going to come to Elvis night, you go full bore. You get all the accessories. That
Gold lame suit.
that is
It's pretty good.
that's an exceptional look. Got the microphone there going on. I mean, there are people who plan all year to come to Elvis night. Evidently, buttons are optional on some of the jumpsuits. Don't get any on the suit. You got to return it.
You would think so, unless that's directly from his closet.
to left. Delmonico. Big Chicago White Sox fan, by the way, is under the weather today and missing her first Elvis night ever. So Rita Speciale, we wish you a speedy recovery. So you can get out here to the next Elvis night, put on your gold lame, put on your Elvis t-shirt. Dison 10 has asked twice now on Twitter what your favorite Elvis song is. Is that Kamka? Beard's too big.
Yep, it is that.
New bat time. Same bad place. 2 out for Bonifacio. Let's take a look at what the Dash did tonight. Nick Madrigal, who's so mad he struck out for the 3rd time. He went 2 for 4. And Luis Gonzalez, who's had a very nice season. 3 for 4, a double. It's GMC down on the farm. The Dash taking down the Blue Rocks. Alec Hansen started the game. 3 innings, 6 punchouts. Center field, Adam Engel. Sox go right back to the offense. Bottom 6 on the way. Vernon Love.
Available at your local Wintrust Community Bank. Go to wintrust.com/White Sox to learn more. Wintrust Community Bank, member FDIC.
Think about what the folks who didn't know it was Elvis night are thinking when they walk in the ballpark today.
Well, I think they'd have figured it out pretty quickly. That's just me.
Yeah, there's a shocking moment, though, you have to imagine. Omar goes after the first pitch and fouls it back. Narvaez 0 for 2. He had a hit stolen away in the 2nd. And he struck out looking on a borderline pitch in the 4th.
The pen up and going. It's Tim Hill. We've seen him a few times. Hard to forget that motion.
Herrera off the backhand side for out number 1.
You probably don't know this, but we are very big in Fall State.
We are.
Huge White Sox fans.
In Muncie, huh?
Yeah, contingent headed up by Ben Rosen is watching. So hello. all you White Sox fans at Ball State. Hope
Hi,
you're having
chirp,
a good
chirp.
night. And bear in mind something else. You are college kids. It is Friday night. We need the viewers, but go out, have a good time. We'll pick you up later on.
Are you encouraging them to do what with their night?
Go out and enjoy themselves.
Tim to left field. Well hit. Gordon at the wall. He can't make the play. Just about a carbon copy of the triple in the second. Anderson a double with one out in the sixth.
Normally, Alex Gordon makes those plays. And this time, and the last time, he didn't. It's our Ford drive of the game, and you can visit your local Ford store or buyfordnow.com. Tim, for a moment, thought it was going to leave the ballpark. Gordon probably thought he was going to catch it. So neither thing happened. And Tim winds up with a two-base hit.
So Junis is done. He goes 5 1/3. That was hit number 5 against him. And Hill will come in to face Delmonico. We'll be back after this.
Man, ERA of 4.89. There you look at the rest of the numbers, and he's very difficult for left-hand hitters to deal with. That's how he'll look out at Nicky Delmonico.
Sinker slider is what you see, and if you're a lefty, you get a bundle of sliders. Problem for Hill is opponents are 10 for 24 when they do hit his slider. That's a 417 average.
Probably largely due to the fact that they're mostly compiled on hanging sliders. Because if his slider is breaking normally, you're not going to have that kind of batting average against him.
Yeah, 31% swing and miss. And the rest is basically hits. Anderson runs, throw to third. He is in with a stolen base, his second of the game. The first one set up the first run.
You're going to steal third. No outs and 1 out is the right time. Stealing it with 2 outs doesn't help you near as much as this will. He takes off, long, slow delivery by Hill, and no chance at all for Butera. The only thought for Dozier is, did he come off the bag?
Even if the answer was yes, the Royals are unable to challenge because of that crucial pickoff play in the first.
That's true.
Royals exhausted their challenge in the first inning, trying to pick Yolmer Sanchez off. On the ground, foul. I'm just rooting for another walk-off so we can see who Yolmer might douse.
I'm sure he has the game plan well in hand at this point.
He was already the other day. He was during one of our replay reviews. He was standing behind the guy with the headset on, pretending he had a headset on. He'll do anything at any moment, and that is great fun over the course of 162 games. We have, just in case you were wondering, decided to get rid of all our Gatorade here in the booth.
Yeah, we usually have huge tubs of it. Stay hydrated during the course of the game.
After that last walk-off win, we dumped it all out and have it replenished. To third, high chopper is going to get the run in. Delmonico is out at first. Anderson scores his second run of the game, and the Sox create one thanks to Tim's legs and Nicky's contact.
Nicky now with 13 driven in, including those 2 tonight. It bounces just in front of the plate and then bounces way up there. Tim knows there's 0 chance of getting him at the plate. So Dozier takes his time, gets it across, and gets it.
2 stolen bases, 2 runs for Tim Anderson, a double and a triple. Adam Engel cuts it foul. That's what Tim can do when we've seen the best version of him. Get on base with extra base power and run.
He can do a whole lot of that. 24 stolen bases, including those 2 tonight.
Jumping play by Hill, who bowls it on to first to retire the side, but the Sox are a little bit closer. Tim cuts the lead in half. It's 3-2.
Serve, and it's the Royals here for a couple more, and then on for a makeup game in Minneapolis. A Ram upcoming schedule, and the rains have started here.
Just a pop-up shower, but it's coming down pretty hard. Anderson throws out Dozier. Let's quiz Steve on his own career. It's brought to you by Volkswagen Sticks and Stone, your local Volkswagen dealer, or VWDealer.com. Following an 81 spring training appearance by Steve, who was quoted by the Washington Post as saying, "That's all I want to see from Steve Stone in spring training." Thinking. Was it Wayne Larrabee?
It might have been Ray Miller. He was my pitching coach. That sounds like something that he would say.
How did Wayne get involved in this?
I have no idea, but it's, you know, could very well been him.
It almost has to be, right? Because it's so strange that he would be involved.
Could very well be him. Absolutely. But I'll stick with Ray Miller.
You think it's Ray?
No, I don't know, but it makes sense. In the meantime, the rain has subsided.
Abated.
Quite a bit. Yeah.
Nothing worse than a wet royal.
Maybe a few things, but
Shields 2-1 for Escobar. He's 2 for 2. Escobar fought himself so much he ended up walking over the
I would
plate.
say he's another one of those guys that hasn't met a pitch yet he doesn't like. He's walked 23 times in very close to 400 at bats. I think that 24.
1 out walk for Escobar. Butera is on the way up. This Royals team will certainly swing the bat. They're not going to walk a whole lot. They're 4th fewest in baseball in walks. And you see this is swing percentage by team. It's Tigers, Braves, Sox, and Royals, the top 4 teams who swing the most. The Dodgers are last. You like all the pretty colors?
Very nice. I thought it was back to my Crayola days.
You had those days?
Oh yeah, are you kidding? Copper was my favorite.
Copper was your favorite color?
Yep.
Why?
I don't know. Just thought it looked good.
You collect pennies as a kid?
No.
Butera singled to right in the 3rd. He came around to score on the Gordon sac fly as the wind has changed, along with the rain pushing through the ballpark. The winds have changed. Do you feel them?
I can feel the winds of change. If Ned Yost wanted to, this would be a good hit and run situation because Butera does make contact.
Tired Elvis.
Yep. He's had enough.
Pitch number 100 coming up for Shields. I think he went around. Yeah.
So does Trip Gibson.
His opinion's more important than mine.
Yeah, but you were right there. You were right there on Tripp's bandwagon. Yeah, that's a little too far, I believe.
How do you know?
Per the rule book.
Take a guess. One, two. On the ground at 3rd. Sanchez to 2nd for 1. Got a chance. Double play. Sox turn 2. The Royals are done. A run or 2 when the Sox are in business.
I think you'd be able to turn it, but Yolmer got it there quickly, and Moncada on the return throw. Butera, for only the 3rd time this year, grounds into a double play. When you think of garages, think Danley's.
Who else would I think? Well, Salvi is having a long discussion.
Yeah, he and Hawk Harrelson get along very well. Salvi doesn't need any pitches for his pitchers tonight as he's the DH.
You think they're thinking garages?
Might be. Yeah, because if you are, you got to think damn.
Yeah, of course. All right, let's see the correct answer for Sticks and Stones, brought to you by Volkswagen. I really hope it's Wayne Larrabee, but I don't think it is.
Could be.
Yeah, it's Ray Miller.
Yeah, that
You
was
got it
something
right.
a pitching coach would say.
Wayne, by the way, is one of the best football radio announcers in our land. Just outstanding at what he does. You have a Ray Miller story for us?
Well, the usual one that I mention every now and then was I just got into Baltimore. Was in my first or second start for them. Second inning, nobody on, nothing going on. And Ray Miller comes running out from the dugout.
Line drive, left field, base hit.
And that represents a tying run. So anyway, I look at Ray because there was nobody on base and it was the second inning. And
Nothing
I said,
happening.
What are you doing out here? And he said, I got a message. I said, what's that? He said, I have a message from your infield. I said, and what would that be? He said, throw the ball, they're falling asleep. And from that time on, I worked very quickly and things worked out very well for me. So that was the one message he had for me in the second inning with nobody on base.
But it paid off throughout your career, didn't it?
Yeah, it was very, very short, very sweet, and very much into the dugout for Ray.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So you weren't the one that put Elvis to sleep a little while ago.
Not yet.
On the ground is short. And Escobar can't play at the Royals with their first error in more than 2 weeks. It had been 16 straight games without one.
Escobar making his 9th error of the year, and here comes Ned Yost. So he failed to smother the baseball, putting runners at first and second, nobody out, and Ned is going to take the pitcher out.
Didn't want the lefty Hill to face the right-hander Abreu, so Hill will leave. He goes 2/3 of an inning, 1 hit, no runs against him so far. And we mentioned earlier that tomorrow it's 6:10 start time. It's Tim Anderson bobblehead night, brought to you by Guaranteed Rate. And Tim had a special surprise on social media today. He signed a couple bobbleheads. It's over on the White Sox Twitter page. Decided to give a little bit to some of the fans who follow him and the White Sox on Twitter. So might be a couple special ones in there from Tim. 2 Sox fans.
That's pretty good.
Boy, he loves it here. He loves being a part of Chicago. Just came up a couple of years ago. Has a house in the area now and really diving into the community as we talked about earlier. But Sox are in good shape right now with Jason Adam coming in with 2 on, nobody out.
He's on for the 31st time. He's 0-3. His ERA up there at 4.78. Batting average against is good at 2.22 as the Sox have got the tying and the go-ahead run on base with nobody out.
Jose Abreu 0 for 3 in the game. Davidson to follow, but you could, depending on what Kansas City has warming up in the bullpen at the time, you could see Daniel Polka in that spot as well, as he has been when he's been on the bench. He's been that left-handed bat for the big spot in the game. Everybody rocks. Everybody in the whole cell block, according to Elvis.
That's it.
Good teamwork. That is drink no evil, sing no evil. See if all that energy turns into a game tire or game leader for Jose Abreu.
This is the second time in the ball game that Jose will be up with 2 outs and nobody on. Popped up back in the 5th as the Sox came up empty, and that was 1st and 3rd, nobody out.
Okada at second, Sanchez at first, nobody out. And Adam to Abreu, who goes after the first pitch and drills it to left field. The Sox take the lead. 1 pitch to Jose, and good night.
That's a 22nd home run. He's now driven in 76, getting ever closer to triple digits. He had a big opportunity and made the most of it. Sox have a 2-run lead courtesy of Jose Abreu.
And tonight, the song for Adam, Jason, is a dirge. With that home run, another generous donation from the Alex Snellius family in loving memory of Ursula. And the celebration is on in the Sox dugout.
We'll take another look. That one is up and out over the plate, and we've said it a number of times. When Jose's swinging it like this, you make that kind of mistake and you will pay the price.
He had not had his best night in a while. Those first 3 at-bats, there wasn't the sign that that was in there, but we've seen it the past few weeks. He is a wrecking crew right now. He and Tim have tried that like 4 times.
The jump shot?
Yeah. One and 2 to Davidson.
This one for Kansas City is following a very familiar script,
Isn't it?
and that is taking the lead and then giving it up only to lose the ball game. Still a ways to go in this one, but the scenario has been the same.
Jose, watch the location here. This is up middle basically, and his home runs by zone typically middle away, middle down. Typically the ball up has not been his home run hitting pitch, but got a good hold of that one. 3 in on the homer as Garcia takes a hook for a strike. So 2 runs charged to Hill, 1 earned, 1 unearned. And Escobar typically so sure-handed. And the Royals, who were 2 games away from the modern major league record for consecutive games without an error, have this one absolutely burned them. Because worst case scenario, if Escobar makes that play, they get Sanchez at first. Say it's not a double play, or say they don't get the lead runner. You don't have to pitch to Abreu. And you have an out. Instead, the ball left the ballpark and your lead's gone.
They usually come back to bite you, and this is no exception.
Right side through, base hit. Good to see Leori back after that hamstring injury. Hey, MLB at Bat is your #1 White Sox app. Customize your experience to catch every moment this season. You get White Sox home screen icons and features like the MLB.TV Game of the Day, pitch tracking, in-game highlights, live radio broadcasts, stats, news, and more. Download MLB at Bat today. Do it right now. You need to have it. One on, one out for Omar, who's got 4 home runs in his last 21 games. 4 of those 5 this year have come in his last 3 weeks worth of games.
Leary 11 of 12 in stolen bases.
Time called. There he goes. Good pitch to run on, and he is safe. A stolen base. Clean himself off.
He gets a pretty good jump, and the throw is not there near in time.
He went beached whale into second. You don't want to be 2-0 on Omar right now. Jose Abreu provided the 3-run homer. The Sox lead 5-3. Rally searching for more. Omar takes up and out, 3-0. Three balls, no strikes. That's downstairs, not close. And Narvaez takes ball 4. 2 on, 1 out for Anderson.
The high-speed replay is powered by Xfinity, and Tim Anderson has been running with reckless abandon. 2 stolen bags tonight. Stole second, then stole third, scored both times.
Jason Adam, 1 strikeout, 1 single, 1 walk after the 3-run homer he allowed to Abreu. So at least 1 run is on his tab tonight. Ball 1, and Garcia got way off the second base bag. Drops in for a strike, 1-1. Double, triple, 2 runs, 2 steals for Tim Anderson as Kansas City loosens up Birch Smith. He would be the 3rd reliever for Ned Yost tonight. Tim wands it to left field, and that's down way short of Gordon to drive home Garcia. 6-3. He crushed the first 2. This one plops down like a raindrop in left.
RBI number 49, and Tim is a home run shy of the cycle. We'll take another look as this breaking ball comes up rolling, and Tim just serves it out into left field, catches it off the end of the bat. He's in protection mode, trying to keep the at bat alive, and it turns into goal.
Cal Eldred coming out of the dugout to go talk to his relief pitcher, Jason Adam. Former Sox pitcher, Cal Eldred, Brewers among others. So, 4 hits in the inning, 1 error, 1 walk, 1 strikeout. And that is the anatomy of a rally, folks. Nicky Delmonico, 2 RBIs, 1 for 2. Nicky pounces. Deep right field. Bonifacio has no play. That ball's gone. First pitch, ambush. See you later.
Nicky Delmonico with 5 driven in here in the ball game tonight. Now driven in 16 for the year. That is going to be it for Adam, who was tattooed here in the 7th. Sox have a 6-run lead. Coming into this inning was a 2-run deficit. So we'll take another look as this fastball on the inside part of the plate, and Nicky gets a good deal of it.
Boy,
over the bullpen.
He's been swinging it better.
Yeah, he is.
And now he's driven in 5 for the Sox here tonight. Couple of 3-run shots, and the Royals go deeper into the pen, 9-3 when we come back.
Kansas City trying Birch Smith on for the 32nd time. ERA at 6.71. Bonus batting average at 283. He inherits the bases clean. That usually will happen after a couple of 3-run homers in the same inning.
Yeah, that'll do it. Abreu, then Delmonico with 1 out and 2 hits and a walk in between. Here's Adam. Line drive. Just foul.
Well, that one didn't miss by much. Adrian Johnson right on the line. He just had to turn around and take a look at it. As Adam bidding for a 2-base hit. Hooks it down the line, and it is just foul.
Not by much at all.
Nope.
That play is reviewable. The one that occurs fair or foul before the umpire's position is not. A hook for a strike. We narrowly missed Adam versus Adam with Jason Adam and Adam Engel. Sadly, we'll have to wait another night because the Sox delivered the mortal blow to the Royals reliever.
7 in the 7th.
That'll do. Mickey's had a trying year with the broken hand. Missed a couple of months. Well, the Royals led 3-0. That's gone.
That's long gone.
Struck him out. 2 down. And Moncada, who led it off with a single here in the 7th, will bat again. So it was 3-0, then it was 3-1, then it was 3-2, and then poof, thud. Yeah, it happens fast. Up high with a fastball from Smith. Jace Fry getting loose. The White Sox bullpen combo, hot dog and a fry, always available in the 8th inning. Muscle to center field. Merrifield on the dive, and you just expect him to make the play. He does. But there were a couple that were not available to be caught. Jose Abreu. Everybody. Then Nicky, 9-3, fireworks galore.
We head into the top of the 8th inning, and Jace Fry takes over. He's got a 6-run lead, courtesy of that big 7th inning. On for the 43rd time. He's 1-2. His ERA at 4.34. Bonus batting average, a paltry 169, however. He hopes that comes into play.
He'll face Merrifield first. And that is taken for ball one. On the White Sox Twitter account and on the website, you can find a chat with Jace Fry. We go inside the numbers, talk about some of his stats from his perspective. And one that really stood out to him as we discussed it was the first pitch swing percentage against him this year. People are taking, most of the time, taking about 82% of his first pitches this year. That's down from about 71%. So an 11% decrease in first pitch swings, which is to say they're not swinging as much early. And he attributed that directly to his ability to throw that curveball for strikes.
Well, if you can throw it on the first pitch and throw it for a strike, you're not going to find too many swings at it. Hitters do not want to hit an off-speed pitch on the first pitch, especially an off-speed curve. They're hoping you miss with it, and then you got to come to them with what they want to hit, which is a fastball.
That's up high, ball four. Leadoff walk for Merrifield, who's got 2 of the 3 walks tonight for Kansas City. Alex Gordon to face Fry. By the way, with the home runs in the 7th inning, more generous donations from the Alex Snellius family in loving memory of Ursula. Jordan Beasley, our stage manager, is smiling because it took me like an hour to read that.
And Omar now goes out to talk with Jace, suggesting, I'm sure, he get the ball over the plate.
.93 Sox career high 5 RBIs for Nicky Delmonico, 3-run homer for Jose Abreu, and a good night overall for the Sox to start this 3-game series with Kansas City. James Shields got the Sox into the 8th inning. He goes 7. Gave up just the 3 earned runs. His ERA now at .439. There's a strike tucked in on Gordon, 1-1. Houston and Oakland are underway. That big series going on by the Bay, and they're no score. Bottom 3, Charlie Morton versus Edwin Jackson, our old pal. Rockies are taking it to the Braves tonight. 2 teams in the hunt in their own divisions. Braves leading in the East. Colorado's 2nd place in the West. As Gordon is sent away by Jace Fry. Ricky Renteria talking to Abisail Garcia, who was pulled from the game earlier, ostensibly for not running out his first at bat.
I think that probably was it. And Ricky is trying to explain to him that we just expect blanket hustle. If you hustle all the time, you're not going to hear from Ricky. He's not going to bother you. If you don't, he's probably going to take you out of the game. And then you will eventually hear from him, as Avi is hearing from him now.
Well, that's the perfect example of it doesn't matter who you are, because if anybody really does run out basically every ball, it's 26.
Absolutely. I mean, every time he hits a ground ball, you know that he's full out going to hustle. This was Ricky's way of reminding him that it's not only ground balls you got to hustle on.
Salvador Perez, who the Sox missed in the first series of the year because of a luggage incident. He was taking some stairs, moving in just before the season started, and ended up with a knee injury. That luggage will get you.
No, it certainly didn't help them when he went down, because he is a huge part of this team.
Sanchez wide of third. That's foul.
Merrifield's been on 4 times tonight. A couple of walks, a couple of hits, both singles.
Hey, look, another young person who gave the ball to somebody else. it's sweeping the nation.
Yeah.
It happened in Detroit. It happens here in Chicago. Now let's see if Yolmer gives it back to him. So more home runs than walks in your career. Salvador Perez is one of 5 guys. 5 all time. Jonathan Scope as well, Ryan Healy. How about that?
It's really amazing when you see that happen, because you just don't see it too often.
He doesn't enjoy walking too much.
Nope.
As I recall, he doesn't enjoy people celebrating home runs either.
Unless it's their people.
Uh-huh.
They were a big celebratory team when they were winning.
Yeah, that's the interesting thing. That's in the dirt. 3 balls and 2 strikes on Perez. We all love Chicago.
Yeah, what's not to love, actually? It's a great city.
Pump to right field, Garcia. 2 down. Lucas Duda is 0 for 3. But James Shields, you look again, I mean, he gives up 3 runs in the 3rd inning. And you say, oh, well, maybe the Royals, that's all they got. He worked out of a little more trouble, got a double play ball in the 7th. Ground out, fly out combo in the 5th against Gordon and Perez. And suddenly he goes 7 one more time. There's that hook for a strike from Jays.
When you take a look at the body of work that is this year's James Shields, and you realize that he's 10 under 500. But that doesn't really tell the tale of this season for James, because he's helped out a lot of the young pitchers, and he's kept the Sox out of the bullpen almost exclusively when he goes to the mound.
Coming into this start, 24 of his 77 earned runs were allowed in 6 total innings. 6 total innings. So it's been boom or bust against Shields this year. Kansas City has 7 runs in 2 separate innings and nothing else in that category of the big inning against him. With the 5 strikeouts today, he's now tied for 62nd on the all-time list with Jake Peavy, and 5 away from your old compatriot Jim Palmer. One ball and 2 strikes on Duda.
Nice stop by Narvaez.
Quick Blue Jays sleep update. They're still in a rain delay in the 7th.
Plenty of time to go. It's going to let up, I'm pretty sure.
Your humor is unwelcome in their clubhouse. Check swing, no go, 3-2. They got a day game tomorrow, by the way. 1 o'clock game in New York. So get your rest, as you like to say. 3-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Fry dispenses with Duda, and we'll play bottom 8 after this.
Cardinals. Under Mike Schilt, they played 29 games, and they're turning it on at 19-10. The batting average is way up there. The runs per game up there. St. Louis now views themselves as a factor to get into the postseason.
They open play tonight, a game and a half back at second place Milwaukee, and they're up in the 8th.
No, they're a solid enough baseball team.
Jose Akendo came out publicly in favor of Mike Schilt as not just the interim manager, but the future manager of the Cardinals.
Well, you keep on playing like this, and you got yourself a job, most likely.
Be tough not to.
Yeah.
If they make the playoffs. Yolmer flies it to right. Bonifacio for out number 1. First out Yolmer's made tonight. He was 1 for 2 with a run. He was plunked. He was walked. And he reached on an error. Yeah, Cardinals 66 and 56. Milwaukee 68 and 55. And that Brewers team with all those new infielders has not really meshed completely yet, it seems like. We're done with Milwaukee for the year. Saw the Brewers here for the 1 series in interleague play. Sox took 2 of 3. Yolmer would have a conversation with his glasses if given the opportunity.
And probably has.
Yeah.
All things considered.
And knowing him and what he has around him, they may talk back.
One never knows. They're very stylish.
One, 2. That's in the dirt.
Let's take a look at one of the reasons why we're here at a 6-run advantage. Jose Abreu, 104.7 miles per hour exit velocity. Line drive out of the ballpark, 3-run homer, gave the Sox at the time a 2-run lead.
Want to guess what the league batting average last year was on balls hit 105 miles an hour?
430.
668.
That's good.
You hit it that hard, you're going to be on.
That's pretty good.
There may be a cartoonish hole in the player you hit it to if it's in play. Escobar completes out number 2. Avi and Ricky still chatting on the bench, hashing it out after Avi was pulled post at bat number 1 tonight.
There's some great managers around, and they all have a different plan on how to get the most out of their players. But one of the great things I heard was from Hall of Fame manager Bobby Cox, where he said he had a very small set of rules so that everybody knew what they were, and if you adhered to the rules, you never heard from Bobby Cox. Never. If you then did something that fell into that, you're breaking this particular rule, you heard from him fairly quickly. And he said he believes that players want a certain amount of accountability, and they want some discipline. They want somebody that they know is going to be in charge of these things, not with egregious rules, just the normal rules. And Ricky has a very small rule sheet, basically revolving around hustling.
Yeah, run.
You run and,
it's one
and
word.
you're fine. You never hear from me.
Part of the players wanting accountability, I think, is that they want to know they have an advantage. If we have rules that give us a chance to be better every night than everybody else, I want to be part of that.
Well, that's one of the things that Ricky has thought about a lot of. He realizes that this is the beginning of the rebuild. It's a year and a half into it, maybe a little over that, but it's really the beginning of the rebuild. And what he's trying to do is establish a foundation for a winning team, knowing that he doesn't have one now. But that doesn't mean he won't have one in the not too distant future. But he wants to make sure that the guys who are still here, and bear in mind there's going to be a lot of guys that aren't, The guys who are still here understand how he and everybody associated with this organization expects people to play once they get here.
Well, this is as much for minor leaguers as it is for major leaguers. For guys to be in Winston-Salem, watch this game and say, I better hustle or he's going to pull me. Escobar got him. Nice play by Escobar. The Sox certainly will ask for a challenge on this.
Yeah.
You'd imagine.
I would think they'd have to take a look at that, but everybody is leaving.
We'll see. 9-3. No sign of a challenge, so we'll go to the ninth. People's Gas makes a donation in support of White Sox charities. Since 1859, People's Gas has kept life moving in Chicago through their tradition of giving back to the community. Visit People's Gas on Facebook and follow on Twitter at People's Gas CHI for more information today.
We got a new pitcher in the ball game, and that's to finish it up. Thiago Vieira on for the 6th time. His ERA at 7.50. But you can't hit him very well. Opponent's hitting just 190, so when he gets it over the plate, he's tough to deal with.
Rosell Herrera is first, then Bonifacio and Dozier coming up for Kansas City. Vieira, 4-strike one at 97. Good luck hitting that off the corner. And he comes in near your fists at 99, 0-2. Brazilian right-hander Thiago Vieira. On 0-2. Anderson has out number 1. Time now for our random White Sox leaderboard, which tonight focuses on strikeouts in the 7th or later, and Matt Thornton is the leader since 1974. That's what makes it so random. It's only the last 44 years. Keith Folk number 2, Roberto 3rd, Bobby and Bob. It's like a Newhart episode.
It is one of those. Matt Thornton, 464.
How about it? Matt Thornton, 512 appearances, 463 plus innings. And that ball from Bonifacio is out number 2. Garcia collects it, and the Sox are an out away from a series opening win. Two down, Hunter Dozier. Sox with a 7-run 7th inning. Kansas City led 3-0 after 2.5. Dozier to Vieira, the boomerang for out number 27.
No better way to end it than end it yourself. The line drive went right back to Vieira, who made the play, and a comeback win tonight. So you let the ball go, and sure enough, it wends its way right back to you.
A metaphor for life, really. Sox win 9-3. James Shields gets the Sox to the 8th. The bullpen does the trick. Couple of 3-run shots. And there you go. 9-3. We'll wrap it after this.